Hello, welcome once again. This is Kopi with Vans. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Friday evening, which is almost about 8:15. Yes, today with Kopi with Vans, I'm very excited to share one of a very great artists here who is very much into the beats. I always say that, when you talk about the heart system, the heart always has a beat. So, well, this is also about a beat. This week, we have been concentrating so much on holistic living. So we talked about health, we talk about musicians, we talk about a lot of talents are coming in to actually share their expertise. So let's not waste any more time, and I'm going to bring in our great drummer. Where is he? Hello, Josh. How are you there, buddy?
Hello, bro. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining in today at Kopi Events. I think it's my great pleasure to have you. How
Thank you
is
so much for having me.
how is this circuit breaker for you?
It's actually been a good break, actually, because I tend to be much more on the creative side. So I've been working on my video production, trying to be creative, learn new stuff, getting into Final Cut Pro, just getting into. Can't wait to get my own DSLR and all. Yeah, so it's I've been working on the production side for after once this circuit breaker ends. Wanting to go into there, so to do like drum covers, music videos, and also for like my students to do drum covers. That's my goal.
It's a very I'm actually very excited as well because this week, if you look at it, we have a Vine player, we have a musical director, we also have a singer. So this week is all about mind calmness. So when I talked to you before, and we thought that there's a synchronizing between the both of us, especially during this period of time, people can't go for entertainment, and people are also under quite number of stress period they are living in. So sorry for that. So during that period of time, so I think these musical experiences is actually calms everything down, especially when I mentioned that the heart also has a beat, doop, 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 doop. But you're also giving that beat. So I think today is going to be a very interesting session to talk about. Before we can even start off, maybe do you want to get some beat up and get everybody into that grooving mood?
Sure, maybe I can play a song by one of my favorite gospel singer, Israel Newton.
Okay,
Uh, his song is called Te Amo.
all
So
right.
I'm just gonna play that song for you guys to kickstart this live stream.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much. Woohoo! That's a big round of applause from all the viewers as well, also from me. That was a great beat, buddy. So, I mean, just to learn these particular beats, I mean, how long will you take? Or rather, how long will I take? I don't have any experience in that.
Okay, so it's drumming. It's a bit intensive. It's just because we have to use four limbs to play drums and differently, not together. That's the difficult part of drumming. So it's called under independence, where you use different parts, and like my right hand is doing something, my left hand is doing something, my right leg is something, playing something, and my left leg is playing something. And I'm also thinking, trying to memorize the next part of the song and everything. So that's where drumming becomes a bit challenging, but with a lot of patience, practice, and never give up spirit will get you there. So I actually did this song. My first ever drum cover, I think, or maybe the first few videos I ever posted on Facebook was this song in 2015 or 14. There's a big difference, certain things that I did back then and now there's a lot of difference. It's because of improvement. So the key for musician is to practice. Practice don't make you perfect. It's just practice makes you better, and like in music, uh, there's no ending for learning. Gotta really, really sit down and spend time with this girl. That's what
But
I say.
but will you agree with me? I mean, of course, you got to agree because I think that particular question I'm going to pose, I think it's quite relevant to what our topic today is, right? Of what is the impact of music on us? But if let's say if I'm so stressed and I'm thinking of so many other things, all right, especially during this pandemic period where a lot of things are happening, if someone who's not able to concentrate with the notes or the beats, will they be still able to do it because it's a kind of a flow? So let's say for yourself, we are all isolated at the home at the point of time now.
Yeah.
Will you be able to do it without concentrating? Like if you're thinking of something, can you still be able to do that?
You can, but it's going to take a bit longer, to get that particular pattern or that groove or that song that you're wanting to learn. Yeah, it's possible. And, I mean, sometimes it's not every day it's sweet. So you got a lot of things running in your head. Even sometimes when I go in the practice room, I don't feel like practicing. Maybe sometimes there's vomit up ideas where I just play anything that I want.
Yeah.
Then maybe the next day, but I have a drum like practice journal where I write down things. It's I even tell my students it's called efficient practice, where I clock my duration and what I want to practice on. If I want to just practice on my hand, I'll put there 5 minutes, and I will be disciplined that 5 minutes and make sure I do that in 5 minutes. So I have a timer. So that's efficient practice where I have a drum journal. Yeah, but there's days where you go in the room and nothing comes up. Like there's no idea. You try to be creative, but you can't. But it's okay. It's a learning point.
I got an interesting sharing for every one of us. When I was much younger, this is about almost about maybe 1 decade or 2 decade back. I got a opportunity to be with the drums. So you know what? All I do is just bring in and I just just going through around with it. But even though there was a little interest and a little passion about music, but I really didn't went into it deeply. But then again, like you see, you start you we were discussing about it, and you said you started playing drums and music at the age of 7. Wow, at the age of 7, I mean, a lot of kids will be just playing around, or maybe they tend to. But look at you right now, right? Over a period of say about 15, maybe 17, 18 years, as a young entrepreneur, what drives you to launch your own drumming school? Yeah, how do you do that, brother? Maybe you want to share with us.
Okay, this first of all, I didn't start learning drums properly. I watched my brother. I used to go to church every Sunday, so my brother was playing in the church, and he was playing in church every week, and I used to just sit down in church and just attend church just because to watch how he plays drums or any drummer that is playing. I'll just watch the drummer play, and I'm able to actually draw a 3D drum set somehow. So every time I go different churches or watching other drummers, I can do that. Yeah, so that started me. So I'm a self-taught drummer. So the journey like leading to this was very challenging because many things didn't work my way that I want to achieve. But I always tell myself that I always want to be a drummer and a musician. Like this is my dream, and I think that God has blessed me with this talent. and I'm very grateful to God because it's only made possible by Him. What I did was I come in a big family where privileges are very little, So like my mom couldn't afford to buy me a drum set back then and stuff because then we have like I have four siblings plus me, it's five. So it's not easy to to buy a drum set back then. The only thing that she could like help me buy is a pair of drumsticks. So I told myself to not give up. So I started working part time and I started just focusing on my dreams, slowly saving up money. And eventually I told myself I just want to make sure that I can give back. Uh, like how to say, I want to just inspire these teenagers, even without a lot of like without drum set for many years. I can still remember I just bought my first drum set in 2015. Like literally, so all my life, even my student complained to me and asked me how I don't have drums, how I practice. I say I use pillow and air drumming. That's how I actually practice and come where I am. And you see me having like gears and all. It's just I told myself that I want to do this badly, and I'm thankful that I've good people and good family to support my dreams. So it has been a journey at age of 25, doing it on alone, spending a lot of money using my savings and buying and getting scolding from my family for wasting money to them. So I mean, it's been challenging, but I love what I do. I really love what I do, and even I just shifted to my new studio in Tago around Thompson area. Uh, so I just shifted to this new place in December. Uh, yeah, in December. Then sorry, February. My bad. In February, and it's been amazing. Like everything is nice. I managed to open up a drum studio where I teach my students, and I also have a rehearsal space for bands to come in and jam. So I work with different bands and different band leaders. So there's band leaders and bands who are supporting me also at my studio, where they come and rehearse their whatever show or whatever performance. Yeah, so it's not easy to be alone doing it, but I definitely will continue to work hard and save more money to go bigger scale and expand my business. Yeah,
But I got to say that at a young age you have started it with a great vision and a great. I don't even say it is a dream because I felt that you had a situation where to hone a drum set was a little challenge. But I think that perseverance and the determination that you always wanted to have, and as a family they all supported. I think that's why you have started your own drumming school at a very young age. We are actually very proud to have you in our show because it's a platform where a lot of people have been exposed in terms of exposure as well. So I do believe that it's a very long, great years to come for you, buddy. So before
thank you.
we, yeah,
Can I just add something? Another
yep,
thing before we move on to the next one is why I also wanted to have a studio is because, like I said, I didn't have the chance to get a drum set. Another thing is also in HDB and especially in Singapore, many Singaporeans drummers struggle a lot to have a acoustic drum set. So I didn't actually own a room or have a drum set. And it's always a dream to wake up towards a drum set. Like for me, it may be a small dream for many people. For me, it's a big dream to just wake up towards that. And that's why I told myself I want to have a studio where I can see many drums and it's all mine. And I want to practice without any complaint. Yeah, that's one more thing I forgot to add. My bad.
of course. But like I said, there's pretty good decades coming up ahead of you because talents, especially artists, which is within you. Because you have, I'm sure that at the age of 7, all the way up to right now, you're 25, right? You're
Yeah,
25.
25
Yeah.
this year.
So
Just
it's a
that.
good journey. It's a good journey. Before we jump into the next question that I'm going to pose to you, maybe can we play something that uh, I mean, I really enjoy Linkin Park and Eagles, Californians, and all that. But but is there something along the line that you can play and show us?
Okay, let me find in my links. I'm a bit in the softer side because I don't listen to rock stuff.
Okay. No, I mean
Yeah.
anything. I mean
Yeah,
anything you
actually,
have.
I just wanted to entertain the people who are tuning in, and maybe because we are Indians, so why not
Yeah.
play an Indian group?
Oh yes, please. Let's do that. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, so I think uh, let's have I
Okay. Getting everything all set up. So yes, for those who are watching, please do share the video. Please give us likes. Please give your greatest support to Josh. Josh is upcoming, or rather, he's already there at the age of 25. He has his own studio. He's a drummer, and if you want to get through him, you can actually contact him at info@heatydrums.com. Drums.com.
Sorry to
That's
that.
good. Yep. Okay, you are just doing something and testing.
All right, Ken.
Let's go,
Good to
bro.
go.
All
Yeah,
yours.
let's go. Okay. Yeah,
Wow,
something
that's nice.
something
So, I
fun. I
mean,
mean,
um, what I want to know is currently you are staying in HDP, right?
yeah, bro.
So, how about the neighbors? Especially, I mean, will there be a significant amount of musical for people to hear as well? Is it something pleasant? I mean, I'm sure it should be pleasant, but will there be any issues for the HDPs?
The downside is actually the below neighbor, where because of the kick drum, it's quite irritating for them below. If you are neighbor below me, you're going like the guy always come up and saying, you know why I'm hearing a lot of boom boom sound. It's because of my kick drum. This thing,
Okay.
the neighbor below. Yeah, but pretty much I actually don't play drums. Even it's electronic drums. Yeah, I don't play like anything
Okay.
after six. Yeah, but it's a bit hard in Singapore. To be honest, really, we go through a lot of dramas, a lot of ways. We find a lot of ways to just make like to practice drums. But I know many drummers, and even like we have the like a page in Facebook where it's called Singapore Drummers, where all the drummers share how to improve their sound, how to lift up the drum set, and not make your neighbors complain. It's a lot of struggle, just to play drums in a HDB house or even a condo in London. But there's over the years, there's a lot of like companies are actually trying to innovate stuff to help people like us, in Singapore and around the world to help us, have efficient practice and not get a lot of complaints where police come, neighbors come and wanting to fight with you. There's yeah, so it's not easy.
It will be a blessing if the neighbor below is also a drummer, so you all can both jam each other. You can just play it out without any issues. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. We have a particular interesting question that asked by one of our viewers as well. So maybe I want to bring it down. Maybe you can answer that. We have a audience by the name of Audrey Chan. Which is easier to learn, acoustic drum or electric drum?
To be honest, it's both nothing. It's not easy at all, but it's just the different tonality. Acoustic drum is just organic sound, and the touches when you play, when you hit the hi hat, when you hit the cymbal or you hit the particular drum, the way you really get organic sound and the touches is totally different compared to like these electronic drums. That is in the I bought these drums, but it's a bit higher level, but it's like mesh shades and rubber pads. It's but how to say, we don't have choice but to use this to practice. But there's a lot of difference between the electronic drums and the acoustic drum set. Yeah, there is a lot of difference. Something like I can be honest with you, certain things that I do on the electronic drums, I can do like two times faster than what I do on acoustic drums. But the reality check is when you go back to acoustic drum set, it's not like that. It's different. The touches are different, and everything is just so different. Yeah, so it's. I mean, both has its own good give and take.
Okay, hope that has answered, Audrey. Thank you so much for the particular question. For those who are tuning in, if you do have any musical related questions, please do ask us, and I'm sure Josh will be able to play for us if it's within its capacity. So I'm sure he can. But Josh, I mean, it's getting interesting because at the age of 25, as a young entrepreneur, you already have a drumming school, and it's very proud to see that our young talents are actually upcoming way much more faster. Because if I'm going to compare you with myself, at the age of 25, I was pretty much not responsible. I mean, was responsible, but didn't have such a greater vision that I want to, have my own enterprise or my own company or even school or studio. But at the young age of 25, if you can have achieved that, I think that is already a milestone that you have achieved, the first milestone. Because as the decade comes in, and with your pure dedication and commitment, which I can see as a young talent that you are coming up, that will going to create a great path for you. But jumping into the same topic that we want to talk about is mind calmness, because that is the whole idea about what Kopi with Vans is about. So I know it's about beats when you start to play a certain musical instrument, right? Like a trumpet or piano or veena or even tabla or whatever. But the beats for drum, can it be a little harsh? Because can it be like more calm, like more like emotional comparison to a lot of other instrument?
Definitely, bro. Definitely, there's like bossa nova and jazz stuff that that are very relaxed where you can just swing stuff. Bossa nova. Bossa nova. It's not all the time. It's not all the time like that. Even there's when we play slow ballad. I like to play slow ballad in Chinese songs. Most of the time, Mendo pop songs are always like lead into the very slow ballad where it's just very slow. Like you got to really dig into the music and play. Yeah, so I won't say that drumming is all about playing hard. No, it's totally and it's actually when you play like that and you really feel it. Even like gigs where shows where I play like that, you really can feel that, and it really comes your body. Yeah, it comes your mind, and you just relax, just play, and you're just feeling the music.
Okay. As we getting more deeper into this topic of drumming and mind calmness, I do believe strongly that vibration, especially when there's a big vibration, like even for drum or the traditional Indian culture, we use the tabla or even the towel or the nagasuram. All these musical instruments, they create, of course, a nice, pleasant, beautiful hearing atmosphere, right? But at the same
Yeah,
time, it
definitely.
also reaches to our body, for our nerves, to calm us down. So it actually plays a very important part. Do you believe that sometimes when you're a little cloudy, a little bit dizzy, not sense of feeling weak, but like sometimes a bit of like a bit of stress. I like to use the word stress. But after playing a drum, do you think that you are actually much more calmer?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, there's days where the certain thing doesn't work, and you just feel upset or stressed. For me, especially, sometimes just sitting behind the drums and playing to some songs will help you to actually cool yourself down, and then eventually you get better at it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Next
You
question I'm going
de-stress.
to. Sorry. Yeah. So you're saying so, bro?
I mean, sorry. I mean, it really brings down your your stressness or whatever you're feeling. For me, I believe that.
Okay. So now, whenever you are stressed or when you're happy or when you feel, especially if you look at the Tamil movies, right? Especially the greatest actors like Sivaji and all that. Whenever they are sad, they always play a certain instrument and then they show their expressions. So I think musical instrument plays a very important, a very crucial part in our body, our human system, because it's a way of expressing it out, right? It
Yeah.
makes you calmer. So the next question I'm going to ask you is, why drumming? Why not other musical instruments?
Okay, it's very simple. It's because like go back to the first one where I started is when I watched my brother. The only instrument that there were many instruments in church and musicians were playing in church, but it's just like the drumming was just the drum set was always the call for me. I think always I was so excited about this instrument. It's just like even like how to say it's like yeah, like I said, I'm not good at art, but the only thing I can draw properly and like like looks legit is a drum set. Yeah,
Okay.
so I mean drums. I think it's God's gift. To be honest, I believe in that. It's God's gift, and also I love the sound of it. Yeah,
Mm.
the excitement.
You know,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I cannot play other instruments, but drums is always like the thing to go to.
I got to say this, Josh. I mean, over the week we have so many musicians that came on board, but there's one thing common that I noticed is all of you all are so calm. Even though the situation can evolve in a manner of stress, limitation of visiting families and work, financial, so many unpredictable situations that's going to happen or is happening at the moment, unpredictable because of this COVID-19. But one thing that I notice is that all of you all are very calm. They're like all the musicians are calm. Is it really calms you down?
Definitely, even like to be honest, some days I'm just not listening to anything heavy drum related. It can be music. It can be like Niranjan playing flute. That will make me happy. Yeah, it comes down. It's not. Yeah, so music really heals your heart, and different music can be some music that are just so like orchestral music, like different type of R&B music and all. Different music just helps you with certain situations. Sometimes the words, the lyrics, will really touch your heart. I believe that. Yeah.
So, before we go into the another two more questions that lined up for you, which is already one of our audience that already asked us previously, which I'm just keeping it for the final part of our interview session or the talk session. Uh,
Sure.
before we go on, but of course we heard a very nice few tracks that you played. Now I'm I'm just going to find out how these emotional beats can come along. Maybe if you can, because you already hit up, all right, a high energy. Now we want to bring it down, complete 90 degrees down. So can we try that emotional part, or rather, a very calm and smoothing to calm this Friday evening down?
Okay. Can I let's find the track?
Okay.
Yeah, something that will suit the.
We don't want our viewers to cry, but to come into a point where it's emotional, just a little bit of emotions coming in.
Okay, because I hear them too much, but
Okay,
okay, like this. It's a
okay,
good song. Okay, so
okay. Standing by. George is going to play us something very emotional on his drum set. So let's get it out. All to you, George.
I'm playing a half song. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. It was like a Friday evening in a bar with. Of course, we are talking about health concern here, so we can't talk about wine. But of course, we still can have wine and beer. But it will be very nice with less sugar or orange juice or whatever to have it. But
I'm a coffee person, bro. So I love coffee.
okay, okay. So we should have a coffee, black coffee without sugar, or maybe little sugar. We call it a siu tai, less sugar,
Yeah,
less.
that's it.
It's very calming. It's very indeed very calming because you can just bring the mood in to a very lower tone, or you can even bring it up as Linkin Park or Eagles, to come in different moods. So I think I do agree, it's a god talent, and also you are so determined to actually to bring it out, whatever that is within you, and you learn it, and you push so much of energy into it. So I think that is where all these are coming to you gradually. But at a young age as 25, I mean, you have already opened up your, drumming school. What is the next 10 years or the next couple of years? What is your plan? What do you plan to do, Josh?
I would say the next, okay, let's make it a bit smaller. Maybe next 2 to 5 years, like definitely want to go into commercial where I can actually uh, to franchise the brand, and go into malls and stuff where I can reach out to more people and more people to get to learn drums. Yeah, so definitely go into commercial. So in malls and stuff. Yeah, definitely that's my goal. Also to help people who are like used to have the same background as me, where people who really struggle to actually afford to buy a drum set, to help them, give them free drum programs and stuff. I hope like organizations that along this next few years that I can actually help and give back to the community. I love teaching students and seeing them. It's a total different ballgame performing and also teaching. Yeah, teaching has its own a different feel and experience to it. Yeah, so I would definitely see Hey Drum Studios going into a bigger scale and definitely wanting to make it a brand that helps people.
So we already have Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy, for that such a supporting comment for Josh. Our young talented artist is very important for the upcoming over the next few decades. But this concept is all about holistic living. So we do talked about drumming have an effect. We talked about all other musical instrument do have an effect of bringing us down completely, especially when you play a very low tone or even sometimes any favorite song that you play. So I think it's a great hobby or rather a great tool. I mean, for you, the drum and you are one. We can't see as a separated because it's what you are. You're showing your expressions and your talents. But do you think that everyone should have a hobby as a musical? Do you think that will help? Like situation like during this period of time when you are enclosed, do you think that will help, Josh?
Uh, it's a 50-50 answer bro, because I don't think music definitely needs to be one of your hobby, but do what your heart says. That is what I would say. Do what your heart says, and if something that makes you happy, like swimming, example. I mean, we can't do it now, but certain things like hobby, right? It can be anything and everything. So music definitely will help you out in many ways for me, and also for people that take up learning how to play drums or other instrument. So for sure, definitely encourage people to take up drums. It's not a loud. Many people think it's a very loud instrument, but actually, you can actually play it in a very different way, and it doesn't sound loud.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree as well because my son is also into drumming, but I think to keep that interest, I think it's very important because you need to constantly have that interest. I think interest and passion comes along the way as you keep on practicing. Like what you say, right? It's not just about practicing; it's about what is within you. When you take it out, and that becomes a very like a habit for you, right? I mean, I'll not say it's a habit because habit is being created, but for you, this is something like a breathing for you. If you don't breathe, we don't live alive. I mean, we are not alive. But same thing like drumming. If you don't drum for 10 days, what happens to you, Josh? What happens to you if you don't touch the drum for 10 days?
Very agitated, extremely agitated, and it's just like you can't wait to touch. It's like I even I don't touch the drum, I think I will have my drumstick starting to hit on my lamp or hit on the pillows and stuff. That's why, yeah. So it's hard. It's hard.
I got to say
More
that I got to say it's a
challenging
good.
with no holidays.
Yes, it's a good addiction that you need to have. I mean, it's a positive. We can also see there's a constant messages that's coming in by a lot of friends and supporters. You know, like Cats Dave saying that good job, Josh. Dorothy as well. Thank you, Dorothy. We got Roy, and also a few more questions that's coming up. Josh, we have one more questions for you so that you can understand a little bit more better. But of course, for those who are very interested to know about Josh and his wonderful passion that towards drumming as a musical instrument that he started at the age of 7 and now he's 25. So there's a lot of things that's going on. You know, it's very passionate. You can actually see these guys just chilling. You know, usually when we talk about drum means it's like high acoustic sounds and very high pitch, but it's not necessary. It's all about how you are tuning it to the situation and bringing it down. So that was the last track that he played. A very nice, not say emotional, but love emotional song. I think you brought us all the way down, which is great. Before we go to the last question for the day, Josh, is there anything that you have? I mean, I'm sure you have, but what do you think at this mode that when we are talking and on a Friday evening, what do you think is the best time to get not so emotional, not so hyper because you know it's Saturday and Sunday. Thank God it's weekend or thank God it's Friday, but we can't do much. Is there something that to be in neutralize a kind of a track that you can play for us?
Can I play like let me see? Should I do like the soundcheck songs? I was
Please
doing
do it.
VIP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All yours, buddy.
All right. So okay, something heavier. Yeah,
Oh,
awesome.
what's good? What's good? That's great. Thank you. So I mean, you just have to play a track, and then you just have to follow through it, right? Or you can also do a minus track. Is that possible also?
Yeah, but depending on the artist and stuff, so sometimes the artists don't have drumless track, so it's a bit challenging. Yeah, then copyright issue. Yeah, but you
Okay.
can find there's people who or you have audio friends who can help you out to remove the drums. Yeah, yeah. Like I did a mini drum workshop for Yamaha Singapore.
Okay.
So I actually get all drumless track because I was doing a product demo for them, and I actually managed to get all my tracks as drumless.
Okay, Josh. I mean, we're coming to the last segment of the Kopi With Vans. I'm always very happy and delighted to bring in talents and that is pertaining to holistic life. I think like great hobbies or passion. I think that one part where we are finishing up the week with the acoustic on the drum part, which is great. But I got also we want to dive into the industry because as the industry is evolving, a lot of situational things are happening at the moment, which is very unpredictable like concert and crowds and with vaccines, safe zone. So many things are going on like social distancing, blah 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 blah. But how do you find the entertainment industry in Singapore, either in the Tamil segment or the Indian segment or even the non-Tamil section? How do you find the entertainment industry in Singapore?
Overall, it's actually very good. It's actually a very good paying job. Actually, to be honest, when many people ask me, "You as a musician, can you like make a living and stuff?" Actually, it can happen. It definitely can happen. It's just people that we deal with, our client and stuff, like always slows down the money and payment. That's one major issue that any scene will experience. That's the only problem in any industry. Malay, Chinese, Tamil, and English. That's one thing, but the payment is actually some shows if you're good and you're good and you definitely can get good paying shows and gigs. Yeah, so I think just need more support from the industry, even like for the English side and people, like just don't ask musicians to do free gigs for you and stuff. That is not going to help us at all. I mean, it's a lot of effort and hours put in to actually come at a certain level, and there's a lot of. So if you're doing it full time, some people just love to undercut, and I think it happens in every industry. But then they love to undercut and ask for free things.
Mm.
But then it's not going to help musicians like us who is really working towards our dreams and also making a living out of it. It's a bit challenging. Definitely, it's a bit challenging. But it's a give and take. Yeah, it's a give and take. So I think what I can ask, I hope that this industry, even like the Tamil side and like the English side, can they support like organization, TV channels, or like big companies can support bands or musicians would be fantastic. You know, I think
I think
because
it's
as
very
musicians,
it's very important also because our young talents are the upcoming leaders. But if we don't give them enough support, in any manner, then I think that industry or the upcoming talents will just be fading away. So I think whoever that's listening, I think even for weddings in the future, upcoming, because we are not sure what is it going to be all like the new
yes,
normal,
all the
right?
wedding shows has been pushed to next year. Sadly, for us, for
Yeah.
me, like the bands they're working with.
But Josh, we got to keep our fingers crossed because things are now evolving quickly. So people are now doing wedding virtually. So they're hiring musicians, singers, all virtually, and they're trying to do it everything in a very new normal. No, we got to live with the new normal because I was reading an article, and the article mentioned that the next international traveling it's only going to happen a very long time ahead. So it's going to be a lot of changes and things, but even for every industry is under a very difficult position. But there's always a saying: if you don't evolve with the situation, then you will be left behind very much far. So your innovative is very good, and I also know that now you are also conducting virtual drumming sessions for your students at the moment.
Yeah, so all my lessons, the physical lesson has been converted into online lessons. So I meet them weekly, same duration like how they come to my student lesson. It's now online through Zoom, and that's why I have this big setup where everything is controlled by me, where the audio and we have this device called metronome and the drum set sound. So my student have like a very good online experience. Even it's not the best because of latency. I think you should know what's latency, right? Yeah, so it's not easy sometimes, but the most challenging part in drum lesson is we both can't play together, like how we do in a physical lesson because of latency. It's very very hard. It's like I'm playing one bit earlier than my student, so it's always like it's in online lesson. We I got to just watch my student and show watch. Then the student want to show me something, I watch, then I will. Yeah. So, but thank God with my like my setup and the online videos that help to build this setup, it's been a good experience so far. I would say it's bad. Yeah. So I'm actually offering online lessons via Zoom.
And for those who are interested to send, even for yourself or even if for kids, I think this is the best time because everything is now virtual, right? So we do see not only in the musical industry, but we also see in the fitness, we also see in the manufacturing. I mean, of course, certain places where physical contact is very important, but of course, with social distancing and precautions have been taken. But what is another new normal is that people are now evolving into virtual videos. Now there's a lot of questions that's coming up, and even I spoke to a few experts. They're saying that, hey, you know what, why we should be paying rent where we can now operate, because we, when situation put you in a difficult position, you don't ask why. You have to keep on evolving, say that, okay, the situation is around us, how can we evolve better than the situation? So people now starting to operate even in the own home virtually. Businesses have been carrying on online shopping, which all been there, but right now because of the situation is being forced upon, people are reacting to it. So I think in that manner, our I mean, my greatest appreciation to you also, Josh, because you have evolved into doing home setups and lessons, and teaching your students to keep up to the trend, and also to keep up with their skills, to make sure that when things get better, they don't lose that that habit or the
Touches, yeah.
the routine.
We hope for the best, like meeting up for physical lesson and stuff. But for time being, I'm thankful that the parents that are supporting the brand are willing to actually accept to this online lesson. Yeah, so that is one good thing. So also another thing on the music side is where it's been a amazing part of it because many of the like most of the countries are in lockdown, or like only Singapore is called circuit breaker, but most of the country in other countries are locked down, right? So musicians and actually all different international musicians are actually working with each other because of this virtual thing. So that is one amazing thing that I see in this COVID-19, where musicians that you never thought can collab, you can actually get. So I'm actually planning like a project that's coming up. That I'm looking to get musicians from Malaysia, Canada, India, and Singapore. Yeah, so I'm just looking to just get that thing coming and working on the music. So there's a good thing about this COVID-19 also, I would say. So the virtual world is totally different.
Truly, you said it so well, because the virtual world is the new norm. Looks like it, and even if the things get better, I mean, there will be still a backup plans, because the virtual world has become because it becomes an adaptation, because it's now more than 60 days or 30 days. I think almost 60 days, right? Over 2 months.
Most it's
Yeah,
almost 2 months already.
yeah, but you see what happens in the month of January, or even for December, as the COVID started somewhere around all part of the country, we are already getting adjusted to it. So it becomes a part of us, and then we evolve. So I always tell my friends and families that, hey, you got to evolve. If you don't evolve, you will be left behind, and then you shouldn't be asking why it happened to me, why, when, how.
Yes,
It doesn't help you.
very very true. Because even I was telling my musician friends and singers, like the Indian side, sadly most of them don't have a recording setup at home. So it's a bit hard to collab with them or do videos. So I told them, yeah, money is important now, but you should actually invest in a mini setup where we can actually collab, and it's going to be a very, I don't know when we're going to perform live next. So that's why I encourage all my musician friends, whoever, just get a mini setup like a mic, a interface, and start recording themselves and doing video. It's a normal now. You got to get used to it and push yourself. If you want to see you want to get more client or you want to get more student, that is where the market is now. You can't be telling no, I'm going to wait till COVID-19 ends and circuit breaker ends and you open up your business. And it's not going to happen. So you got to find ways and be innovative and get inspired. Don't just be stagnant. I feel that's what you need to be innovative.
Because when you said, when you wait for things to happen, it probably will never happen. Or even if it happens, it only happens within not your schedule. So I
Yeah,
think it's great
very
to
true.
have a lot of talents are coming up. I think we need to support them in any way, like weddings, instead of just using, I mean, different ways to explore. I mean, depending on their financial situations as well. But I think in the upcoming months or years, I think it will be a greater industry for every one of us, not only in a particular certain industry that we are talking about, but every industry that was becoming better because our exposures are better, our awareness, and able to manage and the ability to adapt to the situation. I think that plays a very important part. So I think with that, I think we got so many questions that came in and also likes from a lot of supporters. Thank you so much. So please do support Josh. If you do want to learn up drumming or for your kids, you can also look at their his email address, which is just mentioned just below here, right? But Josh, I got a last question to ask you.
Yes,
Best advice or tip for the day?
I love
Anything?
this. I love this. Is stay positive. Always have good vibes. Don't have to be angry or anything. Just be happy. Life is short. You want to just be happy and live. Enjoy life and treat your loved ones well and do what you love. That's what I believe. Yeah. So I'm a person who likes to be happy. I don't like negativity. I don't like to be sad or anything. Yeah. I try my best to be happy and just to be positive and always find a good find like positivity. It's very important.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. That's why they say that when you are enjoying something, the time flies very fast. Even for a second or 20 seconds when you don't enjoy, it seems like the hours. Now we have just completed about 55 minutes with a constant flow of viewers that is supporting and watching us. I'm sure they will also share this video to their friends and families. For those who want to learn drumming, it is not just about high acoustic sounds and loud music. When we say drum, people think it's loud. It's not at all. I mean, Josh has actually just proven that it can go into different segments and different emotions and expressions to showcase that particular moment or the events at that. So I think in that fact, I think Josh, you did a fantastic session today with us. Of course, we wish you all the best for your future. Because at the age of 25, if you are so successful at this point of time, which I like to use the word successful, success doesn't just comes to anyone. But if you don't put in the hard work and if you rely on luck or things to happen, it will never happen. So at that point, I think we have to give you the greatest appreciation and God's blessings and wishes all the for you for the upcoming years. Thank
Thank you
you,
so
John.
much. Thank you
Thank
so much for having me and also like Niranjan for actually getting us connected. Firstly, thank you Niranjan and also you bro. I really appreciate you for getting this while like making the circuit breaker even better. Making even like we have 1 week more to circuit breaker. It's not going to end, but like I was so excited to actually do this chat and I was happy to share my views and my this beautiful instrument that's giving me money every time. Like it's a blessing, really God's blessing in my life playing drums. Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on board for
Thank you so
this.
much, Josh. I'm sure with the great exposures, I'm sure people who are very interested in learning or to know more about you, they can always go back to your this video and watch it. I mean, for those who because I do see some viewers just coming in, probably they just finished. Yeah. So for those who are just watching it or tuning it, you can also watch the video because we are coming to the end of that video already, which is almost about 57 minutes. So we thank everyone once again. This is Kopi with Vans. With me is Josh, and this is Vans. Bye,
Thank you
Josh.
so much. Bye bye.
Bye.